Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jai Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Shri Radhe Jai Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Dharmani Prabhupada Sahityam Yapakoshavati Vrija Pacharam Girvashadu Vipate Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Tirandasya Gyanam Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurabhe Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shiguru Shijuta Padakamalam Shiguru Vaishnavamscha Serupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Ustate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneswari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Haribol, come here. Exchange. You can have this one.
Thank you.
Okay. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1. Let's see. Chapter 1, observing the armies. Text number 2. Is that correct? I don't know how many times now we have read the Bhagavad Gita here, Krishna Balaram Mandir. This was started by Mother Parvati. And every day, Prabhupada says we should read every day. And that includes the Bhagavad Gita. Some they said, oh, Bhagavad Gita, this is very, very elementary. I want something else. something higher, like Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the 10th canto, Rasa Leela. But Bhagavad Gita actually is very deep, especially for those who wish to understand the nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. As Prabhupada says, there are two types of katha. One is about directly the Supreme Lord speaking, and the other one is about the Lord and His devotees. So here we have chance, very, very fortunate that we have, especially here in Krishna Balaram Mandir, we hear the Bhagavad Gita in the evening and the Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. And Chaitanya Charitamrita also. And also Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So text 2, please repeat. Sañjaya uvāca dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ vyūḍhaṁ duryodhanas tadā ācāryam upasaṅgamya rājā vacanam abravīt. Somebody else? Sridham Prabhu? Sañjaya uvāca
dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ vyūḍhaṁ duryodhanas tadā ācāryam upasaṅgamya vacanam abravīt.
Sañjaya uvāca dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ upasaṅgamya Sañjaya uvāca dṛṣṭvā-pāṇḍavānīkaṁ duryodhanas tadā ācāryam upasaṅgamya rājā vacanam abravīt. Mataji's? Sañjaya uvāca dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ duryodhanas tadā ācāryam upasaṅgamya Sañjaya uvāca dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ ācāryam upasaṅgamya rājā vacanam abravīt. Word for word meaning. Sañjaya uvāca. Sañjaya said. Dṛṣṭvā, after seeing. Tu, but. Pāṇḍava-anīkam, the soldiers of the Pāṇḍavas. Vyūḍhaṁ, arranged in a military phalanx. Duryodhana, King Duryodhana. Tadā, at that time. Ācāryam, the teacher. Upasaṅgamya, approaching. Rājā, the king. Vacanam, words. Abravīt, spoke. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sañjaya said, "O king, after looking over the army arranged in the military formation by the sons of Pāṇḍu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words." Everybody please repeat. Sañjaya said, "O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formations by the sons of Pāṇḍu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words." Purport. Dhṛtarāṣṭra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pāṇḍavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sañjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sañjaya wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king and thus assure him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sañjaya therefore informed the king that his son, Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pāṇḍavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pāṇḍavas. Sañjaya uvāca, dṛṣṭvā tu pāṇḍavānīkaṁ vyūḍhaṁ duryodhanas tadā, ācāryam upasaṅgamya rājā vacanam abravīt. So Sañjaya, the secretary of the king of the Kauravas, Dhṛtarāṣṭra, is the one who's speaking here. King Dhṛtarāṣṭra is blind by birth. Is also brother of King Pāṇḍu. King Pāṇḍu has 5 children called Pāṇḍavas, and Dhṛtarāṣṭra, he has 100 sons headed by Duryodhana. Now, as the battle of Kurukshetra is about to begin, this is the main event here that happened 5,000 years ago. And I'm going to read a little bit here from notes. In this chapter especially, there are different sections, and also the sections whereby the preparation for the war, the signs of victory of the Pāṇḍavas, Krishna as Bhaktavatsala, and Arjuna's main reasons why he doesn't want to fight. Because the story goes that the right ear for the land that is meant to be theirs was usurped. The Pāṇḍavas, they are the right heir actually, because Pāṇḍu is elder. But then he died. And then the 5 Pāṇḍavas, they were taken care of and be under the shelter of the brother, Dhṛtarāṣṭra. This is the story coming from the Mahabharata. Mahabharata means the history of the world, ancient world, at least 5,000 years ago, whereby the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, to establish the principles of religion, he actually took the side of the 5 Pāṇḍavas because they were like the underdogs, you may say. Underdogs means like they're not so very strong in such a way that they were being cheated. They've been cheated by what they're supposed to have. That Duryodhana, who is very, very cruel, very mischievous, atrocious, that he says that you cannot even have a land or property that even it cannot even have the space of the head of the needle or a pin. It's like for the deities, we use pins for dressing or for decoration. So just imagine how small the size on the top of the pin or the needle. How can you don't even have a space like the size of an ant? It's very small, isn't it? So they were cheated, especially the game of dice, where we've heard that Draupadi also was put into the stake. They want really to humiliate the Pāṇḍavas. The Kauravas, they were so they're so mean that they cheated the Pāṇḍavas in the game of dice, especially the uncle of the Sukuni, right? Sakuni. So in those days they were already having cheating propensities, and they use that ultimately they want to humiliate, defame the Pāṇḍavas, that ultimately turn into the war. And the heart of the Mahabharata, as Prabhupada says, is longer than Odyssey and Iliad. That famous narrations coming from the, I believe it's in the Greek mythology or something. So the story goes that in the beginning of the war, they waged a war, both the Pāṇḍavas and the Kauravas. And Krishna first, he gave a chance to not to have a war. But then he went to the camp of Duryodhana and asked, "You can have me or the soldiers?" And Duryodhana did not choose Krishna. He chose the soldiers in such a way that there's a story also whereby Lord Krishna also showed his universal form to Duryodhana. Somehow or other, he was so much bewildered and so much intoxicated, Duryodhana, by his power, that he says, no, I don't want you. So in this case, Lord Krishna came to the Pāṇḍavas and offered, especially to Arjuna, to be the chariot driver. So this is like in the beginning of the war, which lasted for 18 days. And because Dhṛtarāṣṭra is blind, externally is blind, right from the very beginning, at birth, that he wanted to see what's going on. So he asked Sañjaya. So in those days, they don't have television. They don't have internet. But Sañjaya has some kind of mystical power that he can see. But it says, though, I've read somewhere, that he was there also. Somehow he's just reporting. But at the same time, because he was there already and he was able to see, like a television, through air, subtle air called ether, that he was able to describe to Dhṛtarāṣṭra what's going on. How in the very, very beginning of this section, because from text 1 to text 11 is about the preparations for the war. Preparation for the war. So as if Dhṛtarāṣṭra also, even though he's blind means he cannot see, is able to also see through the eyes of Sañjaya, the secretary. So he was saying to King Dhṛtarāṣṭra that how the military formation from both sides, the sons of Pāṇḍu, and also how he saw Duryodhana, to whom Sañjaya addressed him as the king. As the king. It's like, practically he's like being the king because Dhṛtarāṣṭra is blind. So automatically he's like next to the throne. So here, Dhṛtarāṣṭra, he knew that the right heir to the throne, the kingdom, are the 5 Pāṇḍavas. So he knew what is the truth. But then again, because of the support that he's giving to his sons, headed by Duryodhana, that he just went along. So Dhṛtarāṣṭra was blind from birth, and unfortunately, Srila Prabhupada says that he was also bereft of spiritual vision. That means he's blind in outside and he's blind inside. Now a blind person can see also. If he has, externally he may be blind, but if he has spiritual vision, that is better. Just like there is a temple, or is a temple where the blind devotee, he painted Radha and Krishna dancing and having peacock costumes. Where? More Kutir. Yeah, you have to go climb up in Varshana. How many of you have been there? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? You know that painting? You're not allowed to take photos. You can take photo from your heart by just having that darshan of that. It's amazing how that blind devotee, he was able to paint Radha and Krishna dancing like peacocks and in peacock costumes. In some temples also, their deities, they have this outfit made of peacock feathers. We do have it here, right? Krishna Balaram Mandir. Once in a while, we've seen that, have darshan of the Lord. So spiritually, one can see. That is better. And we should be like that also. We may have the eyes, but if we are not seeing spiritually, it's just like compared to the flume of the peacock. You know, peacock feathers like have eyes, isn't it? Shape, right on the top. So Bhagavatam gave that example. One may have eyes, but if we don't see in the spiritual platform, then actually we are blind as well. No better than a blind person by birth. What does it mean by having a spiritual vision? It says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastini Suni Chaiva Sapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. He's a real learned person who sees the Brahmana Gavi Hastini, the cow, the elephant, dog, and a dog eater, in equal vision. Because a person who is spiritually advanced, he sees everyone in equal vision. We may have different forms, or others in different species of life, but a learned person, a real pandita, he sees everyone in equal vision because he knew that the Supreme Lord is present in everyone's heart. He doesn't distinguish. He knows the truth. Moreover, he knows the principles of religion. Contrary, King Dhṛtarāṣṭra, no, he's not. He's not be able to see it. That even Gandhari, she was born as like a princess. And the arrangement for marriage between Dhṛtarāṣṭra and Gandhari was made. And upon knowing Gandhari that her husband-to-be is blind, she's very, very elevated devotee of the Supreme Lord. Even on the platform whereby externally she is in the body of a woman, that knowingly that her husband-to-be is blind, so she made herself being an ideal wife. She also blindfolded herself. Now who will do that? To be bereft of sight. But her senses are fully awake. She's fully Krishna conscious. And that's why in the Śrīmad Bhagavatam there are many, or not many, few examples of females who are very, very exalted, like Draupadi, Queen Kunti, and Gandhari. One is not lesser than the other. They're all in the same category. Chaste, ideal wife. So, and she's very elevated, so she's Krishna conscious at the same time. But this Dhṛtarāṣṭra, he knew very well also, Prabhupada says in the Purport, that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach the understanding or an understanding with the Pāṇḍavas, who were all pious since birth. They're all favored all the time by the Supreme Lord. They're so exalted that the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, became a chariot driver. A chariot driver. How close you can be with the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord agreed to be like your servant. Usually we have to serve. Not usually. All the times. That we should serve the Lord. A very rare occasion that the Lord will become subjugated or seemingly became lesser than his devotees. Usually, in what we've read, what we've heard, devotees always serving the Supreme Lord. But this time, the Lord is serving them, especially to Arjuna. See, when the Lord performs his pastimes, many things are being accomplished at the same time. He became Parthasarthi. Just like we have temple in Delhi, Shishirada Parthasarthi. How can you be Parthasarthi and Radha? Radha Parthasarthi. It seems to be like Rasabas, isn't it? But that's Krishna. That is his role that he played in this particular episode. That Lord Krishna agreed to be the chariot driver of Arjuna, son of Pritha, right? Partha. And specifically to repeat again the Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of the people in Kali Yuga, so that we will be able to know how to be a devotee and to understand the righteous path of being a devotee and understand the principles of religion. The Lord, where in any religion you can find this, that the Lord became like, oh, well, we've heard, like in the Bible, the Son of God. Yeah, he also became like servant of his disciples. He would wash their feet, and he even kissed the feet of some of his disciples. But here, especially, so the love of the devotee is greater than Krishna. That because of the love of the devotee, Krishna will do, or God will do anything for his devotee, to please his devotee. The spiritual master is also like that. He will do everything so that the disciple will make advancement to go back home, back to Godhead. He will sacrifice everything. Even though the disciple should see the guru, but it's the other way around, because disciples sometimes they're too busy. They don't have time, not even for their own family. Like when I travel, some of these grihastas will tell me, Maharaj, I don't have time. I don't even have time for my family. I just keep working. I have one daughter. I don't even have time for my own daughter. You know what to say? Let's say the spiritual master is, because of his traveling all over the world, the sacrifice, the austerities that he performed, then sometimes they will also feel ill. It may be difficult for them to travel, but they will still travel. But the disciples will not go and see him. And even if the spiritual master will visit the place where they live, he will still not have time to spend time with him. It's like when I travel with my Guru Maharaj, he told me, I only travel because of my disciples and also to meet new devotees. But then they will not spend time with him. Only when they have time, maybe, few minutes. So, this is just the reflection. The spiritual master's love towards the disciples reflects the love of the Supreme Lord towards the living entities, the conditioned souls who've been wandering all over the three worlds here and there. It's not so, one may say, it's not so easy for them, but they will sacrifice. So, Sañjaya was able to see, because this place where it is happening in Kurukshetra, how many of you have been to Kurukshetra? Yes? You should go visit Jyotisar. Yeah? We have a temple there now, is being built, being constructed. It's a place of pilgrimage. It's a holy dham. Kurukshetra is a dham, like Vrindavan dham, or Mayapur dham, Jagannath Puri dham. Dham means where the Supreme Lord performed his pastimes 5,000 years ago. So this place in Kurukshetra, where millions of soldiers were killed 5,000 years ago, is still there. So it's not a mythology. It's an actual place where Lord Krishna, being the chariot driver for his devotee Arjuna, fought against the Kauravas. Sañjaya could understand the motive of Dhṛtarāṣṭra, why he asked Oh, he was asked by King Dhṛtarāṣṭra. He knew also that Krishna is there and there's a place of pilgrimage. There is no need to ask, oh, what's going to happen to my sons. It's just like trying to pacify himself. And Sañjaya is trying to encourage the king in this way. It says here, Sañjaya wanted therefore to encourage the despondent king and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. This is like for sure that there is no contest. That victory is assured. And later on we will hear also. We will hear how there are different signs of victories for the side of the Pāṇḍavas. Now this king Duryodhana is still he went to see the chief commander-in-chief Dronacharya. Dronacharya is that personality who taught both the Kauravas, headed by Duryodhana, and the 5 Pāṇḍavas when they were young, the art of fighting, martial art, like archery, sword, all these things, different weapons. Bow, how to use the bow and arrow, everything. Spears, swords, and everything. Well, they were young. So Duryodhana is mentioned here as the king. He still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. Usually the king will tell the commander-in-chief what to do. But here is like he is consulting also the commander-in-chief what's going to happen. He had this fear in him that no way, we're not going to win here. It's not possible. This is very, very delicate. There's a big risk here. So in this way, we can see that Duryodhana is like equipped, or he is in that position to be quite fit to be a politician. What is a politician? What is a politician? Rajavidya Prabhu, what is a politician from your understanding? It's like in India, right? Now there's going to be a new election coming up. Who is there in that election? Politicians. Politicians are very diplomatic. If they want something from you, even if you're an enemy, they want something from you, they will present themselves to be like a friend. Because they want something from you. You may say they are, I don't want to say this, pretender. Yes or no? They're pretending from what they are not. They show themselves like, hey, I'm real. This is me. Please accept me as I am. But behind your back, they're not that like that. They're a different person. Are devotees politicians? No. No. No, devotee is supposed to be like the way we are. We present ourselves like, hey, it's like Hanumanji. He opens his chest. Here, you can see who's inside. Sitaram. So we should be like this also, isn't it? The more we act the way we should be acting, then the more we are Krishna conscious. The more we try to hide and show something which it is not us, then we are not Krishna conscious. Yes? The more we are Krishna conscious, the more we act the way we should be or the way we are. That is a devotee. Arjuna is like that. Yudhishthira Maharaj is like that. Parikshit Maharaj is like that. All the great personalities in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But Duryodhana is not. Duryodhana is a politician. He's a very diplomatic. Very diplomatic. I will only treat you in such a way that when I get what I want, I will just like push you away. I will disregard you. Have you seen a person like that? I do. I did. We did. So how do we treat them? Do we have to treat them like the way they're treating us? Huh? No. Then we also be in the mode of ignorance. Even the devotees don't have any enemies. Even his own enemy, when he comes to his own place, or no, they will not feel that they are enemies. No, we still treat them as friend. But Duryodhana is not like that. He's very diplomatic. So he could not disguise. Now here, Duryodhana is in fear now. He's like, he may have more armies. As Prabhupada was saying, it's only the 5 Pāṇḍavas against thousands and millions of armies. How is it that Duryodhana is in fear? How is it that Duryodhana thinks that, oh, we are in trouble here? And there are more soldiers. He has more soldiers than the 5 Pāṇḍavas. It's like 5 Pāṇḍavas against millions. How is that? And he's even asking. He's the king. He should tell the chief commander, okay, we go that way, we go this way. No. He's asking Dronacharya what should be done. Pāṇḍavas are lesser in terms of the soldiers than the Kauravas, but Duryodhana is in fear, which we will see later on. The different signs of victory for the Pāṇḍavas. And then one of the sections here in the first chapter is Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. He favor his devotee. Even though he says that Krishna is equal to everyone, but at the same time, he favors his devotee more than the non-devotees. He's equal to everyone because, even those who were killed in this battle, they also attain moksha. If he's not equal in everyone, those who were killed by the Pāṇḍavas, Those who were not righteous, who's in the side of Duryodhana, they will go to hell. But no, they also attain moksha. How Krishna is, this is what Krishna is equal to everyone, but he favors more his devotees. So this is just the beginning of the introduction to the war, the preparation before the war, and we will see more later on. This is one of the longest chapters also. There's about 46 slokas here. Okay, we stop here. Any questions? Any comments? Anyone would like to say something regarding to what we have just discussed? Yes, sir.
Why does you explain that this guy, Duryodhana, is fearful?
Mm-hmm.
He has a more army.
Yeah.
Why he was fearful?
Well, he was in fear because he knew also, in a sense, that they are in the holy place, that Krishna is there, and yeah, the demons also have fear. Ravana has fear. Hiranyakashipu has fear. Hiranyakashipu, the king of demons, how can he be fearful? Because ultimately they have some kind of intuition. If one is performing sinful activities, there is fear in there also. The one who is about to perform sinful act, there is knowledge there also. That it's like a thief. Yeah? He saw police catching the thieves, and the thieves goes to jail. But still he will do it, because somehow, again, Prabhupada says, due to lusty desire. And lusty desire is not just attraction towards the opposite sex. Position. Lusty desire means position. And Duryodhana is so much ambitious about that position, to be honored, to be respected, to be glorified, to be praised, even though he's not in the right position. So he's in fear that, oh, someone may take my position here. And the demons are like that. They are in fear that someone will take their place. Devotees, they have fear? Do they have fear? Yes or no? No, they don't have fear, because they know Krishna is in their side. Yeah, they're surrendered to Krishna, and they know that Krishna is there to protect them. Even though they still ask for protection. They pray. Devotees pray for protection. Look at Prahlad Maharaj. But he is fearless at the same time. Isn't it? The devotee prays for protection from the Lord, even though the Lord will protect them 100%. They still ask for protection, because this is how the Lord becomes obliged to the devotee. That they don't have any other shelter except the Lord. Like Draupadi, we've heard that. I was just hearing a story of Draupadi. Was it a story? When did we hear this? In the class? I think Prabhupada, for sure. I was hearing, this morning in one of the classes, from the Bhagavatam or from... because I always like to hear lectures of Prabhupada or some present, gurus. I don't hear a lot of, like so much. Draupadi was holding her sari with one hand. And she was asking, "Oh Keshava, oh Govinda." And ultimately, she let go of her sari. Because her sari is being taken away. Yeah? But ultimately, she knew that I don't have any other shelter. She let go of the sari with one of her hands, and she just say, "Whatever you wish for me to do, I surrender unto you. Please, please. I don't have any other help that I can get from, only from you." So she did like this. She didn't let go. She let go of, you may say, if we let go of our attachments and just completely surrender unto Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. So we should not be in fear that if I give up my attachments, material attachments, I will not have anything left. What will I have if I give up my material attachments? Actually, if we give up our material attachments, Krishna will give more and more and more. More than we can handle. Yeah, Prabhupada gave up. He gave up Vrindavan. He went to America. At the age of 70, he could have just said, "I'm not going to move anywhere." Prabhupada says old age starts at 70 years old. But he gave up Vrindavan. You may say the comforts of the holy Dham. And he went to America. He went to America with nothing. Practically zero balance. 40 rupees and $20 because the first 3 volumes of the first canto was sold to the captain of the ship, Pandya or Pandya. Pande. And look, after that he has thousands and thousands of crores after that. So we should not be in fear, but at the same time we should be in fear. And that makes us stronger in that way. Because if he says, "Oh no, Krishna will protect me. Everything is fine, everything is okay," then we may one day find ourselves not depending on Krishna. So the more we depend on Krishna, the more we are in fear that, "Oh no, I should always depend on the Supreme Lord." Then Krishna will keep flowing His kripa, His mercy towards us. Yeah? Any other points or questions? It's interesting, isn't it? We're just in the second sloka, and there's so much to churn. So much nectar. And others say, "Hey Prabhu, Bhagavad Gita, forget that." No. I passed Bhagavad Gita already. I want some more nectar. I want something more. Things that I have not heard of before. I want that. You cannot even understand Bhagavad Gita. You want something else. And I'm very, very, I really appreciate those devotees. I couldn't, express my gratitude and appreciation for those of you who come every day for the Bhagavad Gita class. Seriously. That means you have the taste of this katha, Bhagavad Katha. Just to sit here, at the same time you have the taste, and it is austere to hear, hey, I've heard of this, how many times since Mother Parvati started this. How many times? Yeah. And you just keep going and going. Look, Narendra Krishna Prabhu is always here. That Prabhu, Sridham Prabhu, it's amazing. And the cameraman is an austerity. It's an austerity to sit down there. Hey, come on, Maharaj, come on, Prabhu. Why do I have to sit down here and sit? And for those who are, regular listener of the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna Balaram Mandir Facebook page or YouTube. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.